Guys, I have something special today. I'm gonna watch one of my favorite videos. And the thing is that I it's been a while since I've seen this, and my long term, like, I don't remember it all really exactly, but I know that this is legendary, and it's one of those things that I just have to see it again. And I'm just this whole channel, by the way, gaming in the Clinton years. Um, there was this review show for video games in like the 90s that was on actual TV, which is weird to think about because people always credit APGN as kind of one of the first people to do that, but really it's been around for a while. Um, and it's so interesting because this is a time where if people weren't able to just immediately respond to this, like today, if you upload a video or a review and it's bad or like tone deaf, you will get made fun of and people will hate you. But back then that wasn't really a thing, and so uploading this to YouTube to an audience of people that are way more knowledgeable about video games than this person is just funny. It's very funny. It's like your dad or your grandpa. It's like your dad or your grandpa decided to play all of the games that you like playing, and then talked through what he thought about them. And you know you're gonna get some weird takes because it's just a completely different audience. And so I'm excited to see what I'm in store for here. So this is the guy that re-uploaded all the... And yeah. Very weird era, for sure.
The first Super Nintendo game ever from Disney Interactive is Toy Story. When you pop in this game, the first thing you notice is the poor edging on Woody, the main character of the...
Okay, so... When you pop into this game, the first thing that you notice is the poor edging on Woody. So this is not at all probably what I would have noticed playing this game. And this is what's so funny about this guy, is he talks as if this is like universal knowledge that everybody sees. And I think everybody does this, which is part of what makes it funny. But this guy just takes it to the absolute extreme, especially considering how people today view this kind of thing.
Movie and the character you control in the game. The Toy Story movie was done with Silicon Graphics computers, and the instruction booklet says the game's graphics were created with the same 3D computer models that were used in the making of the blockbuster movie. We don't know, however, if the game actually used Silicon Graphics computers. If SGI computers were involved, we suspect they were only used for character animation, because the backgrounds do not have the detailed quality graphics of Donkey Kong Country. As any good devoted game player knows, Donkey Kong Country was created with Silicon Graphics computers and doesn't have edging problems. What's even more...
So yeah, it's funny because back then, the idea of having these 3D kind of pre-rendered things put on a game was a big deal. But today, hearing someone talk endlessly about how the game was rendered or whether or not it was rendered with these computers is so unbelievably unimportant to us. But to this guy, it's like the main selling point of the game. It's crazy.
Strange is that Woody is the only character with edging problems. All the other characters look great. The game's packaging box advertises an intensely 3D experience, but that statement is a bit misleading because the gameplay, although varied, is often two-dimensional. One question still remains. Why didn't Disney Interactive use Silicon Graphics computers for the entire game? Were they too expensive? I don't think so. Come on. Big Disney is one of the richest corporations in the country. Let's get real here.
I can't tell if he thinks... I'm sure he knows that you can't use silicon, like the Super Nintendo doesn't have a silicon graphics chip in it, like it can't do 3D graphics. I'm sure he knows that, but it's the way he's talking about it makes it seem like that's what he's implying.
The only explanation we can think of is that Disney Interactive did not use SGI computers because the graphics could not be handled by the Genesis for the Genesis version. Maybe that.
But see, this doesn't make any because it doesn't make sense because the graphics were rendered with the silicon graphics, but then they were turned into sprites. See, that doesn't really make any sense. It's just weird.
That's why the game has nowhere near as many colors and detailed graphics as Donkey Kong. However, even that explanation doesn't seem plausible because Disney would have to be insane to pass up the chance of creating another Donkey Kong Country. Besides,
yeah, that's specifically what they were thinking, is they wanted to make another Donkey Kong Country. That's exactly, of course.
The Genesis version and the Super NES version don't have to be exactly the same, so what's the big deal? Disney certainly has the money to make another Donkey Kong Country, but unfortunately, they blew it. Another thing.
Yeah, they blew it. They didn't make another Donkey Kong Country. They blew it.
The thing that confuses us is Disney's marketing strategy. Since Pocahontas appeared in the theaters before Toy Story, why did the Toy Story video game come out before the Pocahontas game? Perhaps.
What?
Perhaps the Pocahontas game is being saved until the movie is released on video for some sort of joint marketing strategy.
No, there's no way that's why at all. It's like...
The last negative thing we have to say about this game is about the play control. In the third level, players will start foaming at the mouth when they can't jump up to the rope at the top of the screen. No matter how fancy you get in trying to bounce off the ball and up to the rope, you will most likely not reach the darn thing. This kind of play control flaw is inexcusable, since Disney should have noticed it and fixed it. Realistically, you could end up trying 20 times to get Woody to grasp that stupid rope before you actually get it. You might...
I suspect he's doing something wrong. I don't know. This would make me upset too. There have been times in games where there's a mechanic you're supposed to do, and
get so mad at Toy Story that you may want to slam Doom into your Super NES and take out your anger by shooting a bunch of evil aliens. Then again, Doom is an extremely difficult game, so it might just make the problem worse. You might think we've come down hard on Toy Story. Well, we admit we have. It's a shame, though, that the outstanding gameplay quality resulting from the developers' hard work is masked by the impossibly high challenge level. Toy Story is too difficult, like The Lion King. Fortunately for you, though, we've discovered 2 awesome ways to cheat in Toy Story. In the first level, bounce off the first beach ball you see and land on the bottom drawer of the dresser on the right. Duck down until the Sheriff's Star icon starts spinning in the upper left corner of the screen. Next, get on top of the dresser where you'll find the bucket of toy soldiers. Stand on top of the bucket, then press down while waiting for the lid to move 10 times. At this point,
the very easy trick here to learn. I'm sure. Was this in like Nintendo Power or something, or because I think some of the lore on this, it's coming back to me. There was like another dude who I think did most of the writing, and this guy just kind of read the script. Because I think this was like a part of a bigger show, the game section. But that implies like this dude found this trick. Like how this guy looking into speedruns right now, because who the hell would figure this out?
Select is activated. To skip any stage at any time, just press start followed by select. You can't win Toy Story without cheating, and this cheating brings victory.
No, you definitely can win it without cheating.
Victory much too quickly to warrant spending your money.
Wait, what? So he's saying you can't beat it without cheating, and then right after saying that makes it not worth your money because you beat it too quickly. That's like the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
People don't spend $60 on a game they know they can beat. With that in mind, one wonders why
people don't spend $60 on a game they know they can beat? Is that really what people thought back then? No way.
why companies release game codes as stage selects. Video game buying has become too much of a game. No pun intended. The game is about finding a game that's not too hard, but not by any means easy. Codes and other cheats make games easy and not worth buying.
So now this was a big side tangent on on the ethics of using cheat codes and how that ruins video games.
Unfortunately, there's no way to tell if a game will last, or if a code will be released that makes it yesterday's news. There is...
You just don't use the cheat code. It doesn't... Does he think that having a cheat code makes the game not worth it? Because you could just not use the cheat code.
However, one last bastion. Role-playing games like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy III. These games will never fail you as far as challenge goes.
So now we have we now have a completely different angle, again, which is that role-playing games are the superior form of video games because they never fail you and are the perfect difficulty based on my subjective opinion on
The potential for these games to become interactive movies has yet to be realized.
Well, they have been now, and I can tell you they're pretty damn awesome. I do have to agree with there. I just finished up FF7 Rebirth. It's basically that.
With the Nintendo Ultra 64, however, that will surely change.
That is probably the funniest line of the video, actually, because RPGs completely went to the PlayStation after the Super Nintendo. Which is that's just hilarious.
Some of you may have seen screenshots of Toy Story and thought the graphics were poor. Indeed, screenshots do not represent the game well. Seeing the game in motion may actually impress you. Although Toy Story's graphics aren't perfect, they are pleasant looking, and the game...
Okay, I guess except for... See, it's not that doesn't make sense, but the fact that he opened the video basically with saying that Woody looked terrible, basically implying that he thought the graphics were bad, and then 5 minutes later basically he's saying that no, actually the graphics, like, maybe he should have brought that up like closer to when it was actually relevant, I guess.
Gameplay is refreshing. In the first level, for example,
Like I'm kind of a chaotic thinker too, okay? But this is just it's just unbelievably bizarre and all over the place and disorganized, and was probably thrown together in like 4 hours. But damn, is it funny.
have to let the toy troops out of their bucket. Stand next to the bucket and press A. Then listen. A perfect soundbite from the movie. Too bad that's one of the few in the entire game.
Another theme I'm with these reviews I'm remembering now is that he's obsessed with making games look like movies and making them highly detailed interactive movies. That's like his that's like what he wants and what he thinks will happen to games. It's
Your chore doesn't end there, though. Once you've dispersed the troops, go knock the walkie-talkie off the shelf by standing next to it, kneeling, and pressing A. The walkie-talkie will fall onto the floor, so the troops can carry it downstairs and set up their recon post. Next, head right to the
why. And see, now all of a sudden, for no reason, he now is just telling you how to beat the first level. What? Why?
walkie that Woody will use to communicate with the troops.
I thought it was pointless because you could cheat. You can just put in the cheat code. So why is he not? See, it doesn't. It's not. It's not coherent at all.
In the second level, the goal is to get all the toys back where they were before Andy gets upstairs and finds them out of place. Knock the blocks out of the pig's way so he can get down to the floor. Get on the pump and get ready to jump on it when the pig walks by.
Doesn't this, like, again, it completely clashes with, maybe these like two guys were writing this together and they just never really talked about it. They just kind of threw it together and it ended up being a mess. Maybe there's a lesson there, but holy shit, is it this is just ridiculous.
So that you can boost him into the toy chest. Repeat this process with the little toy robot, then do the same for Rex, the wimpy but lovable green dinosaur. Hey, at least he isn't Barney. Next, knock blocks away with your pull string by pressing A to free the action figure.
And also another thing, there are all these Marvel quips just constantly.
Toy named Biff.
But like not all the time. Like it's
Speaking of action figures, take a look at this one. It's a takeoff of Blanca from Street Fighter 2. Also,
What? Why? Where did this come from?
notice the similarities to other Street Fighter characters on the package design. Aha! We caught these guys ripping off Capcom. Anyway, let's get back.
This. Why would this be in there? There's no reason for it. It's just a random, like, let's talk about the action figures. What?
Back to Toy Story. Once Biff is free, he will push the bucket over to the crane. The crane will then raise the bucket so the remote control race car can pass underneath. Biff and the car will get back to their place under the bed. So all that's left for you is to get in your place, which is on the bed. Do that and the level will end. Next, you must battle a nightmare version of Buzz Lightyear. Hit him on his face shield with your pull string while avoiding Buzz's lasers. Buzz will warn you before he shoots a laser, so be sure to listen carefully for his egotistical taunting. As for the rest of the game, we have a few general hints for you. First of all, collecting stars helps you stay alive, so even though the task is boring, do it anyway. Second, read the messages put up by the etchers.
But I thought that there was a balance between difficulty and easy and stuff.
Sketch before each level. It tells you what to do. Third, don't try to rush through the third level to beat Buzz Lightyear. You'll never win. After all, he is a space ranger, or at least he thinks he is. Lastly, we recommend seeing the movie first so you don't have to read all the boring text in between the stages.
Yeah, that's why you should see the movie first, so that you don't have to read the text. It's like there's got to be some level of like sarcasm here, because it's just such a weird way of thinking about it.
Bottom line, when all is said and done, Toy Story has better gameplay than either of the Donkey Kong Country games, and players should even be
Wait, what? Okay, we're back to comparing it to Donkey Kong Country.
able to adjust to the flawed play control. Toy Story's great gameplay is shrouded, however, by frustrating challenge and play control, and the cheating methods destroy what's left of the game after that. Now, check out our review of Toy Story, the movie.
Is that okay? Well, that was that. Hopefully that was enlightening, and I highly recommend check this more of these out. They're really good.